Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Raw and Wild Hearts podcast. I am your host and guide, Lori Rising, and welcome to today's episode called Integrating Light Codes. Ooh, y'all, we are in some divine ascension right now. How are you doing in this powerful aftermath of the Libra Full Moon? That shift in frequency and energy was so loud. It was so proud and so profound. I did a little poll in my IG stories and y'all are feeling it. Yesterday, I couldn't get enough of nature. I was dancing. I was moving. I was feeling. It was absolutely incredible. And this is the epiphany of integrating light codes. This is the ascension. This is the enlightenment. But when we actually have space in ourselves to welcome the light codes in and acclimate them into our experience, then it becomes permanent. It becomes our way of life. There's so much to get into, but first of all, I just want to welcome anyone who's new here, whether you're on YouTube or listening on a podcast platform. I'm so stoked that you found us. I hope that you get a ton of support and guidance in this Wild Heart revolution. Definitely hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, review the podcast, y'all. Let me know how this is feeling for you. Is it getting your cells excited? Are you feeling hopeful and just aligned with the messages and the offers that I am sharing here? Speaking of that, I want to share a couple of new reviews that came in. Thank you so much. This means the world to me because I am putting these transmissions out, and it's the only way that I really know how they're being received. When you hit me up, you send me a message, you tag me on IG, and especially when you share a review on Apple Podcasts and a rating, that helps this podcast to get into more ears and into more of the frequency on this planet. So Susu001 said, I listen and re-listen to your episodes. Thank you so much for your spiritual support. Heart. I have a green shirt on if you're watching the video and I'm sharing the heart that she shared. And then let's see. Where's the other one? Stardust9 said, yes, please. A weekly podcast would be awesome. Your recordings bring me back into a place of balance and calm. Alignment. Every time we come back into alignment, we have the potential to integrate and ascend, integrate and enlighten, integrate and ease, right? So speaking of the weekly podcast, y'all, how is this format feeling for you? I was thinking about it earlier, and it feels like I have just fully moved into an inspired and aligned action format. It used to be clockwork every 2 weeks, and honestly, it just wasn't buzzing for me. It wasn't aligning for me. And now as I'm moving closer into a weekly podcast, and especially when I am looking to hire somebody. So I'm just going to put that out there right now. If you are looking for some virtual assistant work and you feel very aligned with my mission and my message and just my vibe, hit me up. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Because when that happens, I'm going to have more space to do just full-on content creation, and it will be a more normalized weekly podcast format. But for now, I'm feeling inspired, so I'm dropping in. This is less than a week. And these episodes come out on YouTube first. So if that's feeling like exciting to you, come over and be a part of the YouTube community. Because when I hit 1K subscribers, y'all, I am giving away a 90-minute astrology and Akashic records reading with me. And I've been doing so many lately, and they are going off. The visions, the confirmation, the validation is so beautiful. And even at the end, no matter how intense the messages have been in the reading, I just feel this full exchange of inspiration. I'm inspired. You're inspired. We have now opened a new channel into this space and this life, but honestly into this universe. So yeah, help me get there. Help me get to 1K and let me help you by it possibly being the reading that was meant exactly for you at exactly this time. Okay. So to leave a review, you just head on over to Apple Podcasts and you scroll down. If you're watching on the video, because this is also a new part of my format, is I'm sharing video podcasts on YouTube. Maybe that's a little extra incentive to come over and connect with me eyeball to eyeball. You just scroll down to where you see the stars and you give me those beautiful little 5-star ratings. And then scroll down a little bit further under the reviews and you'll see write a review. You hit that and it takes like a couple minutes. Y'all, honestly, it's like sending a text message. And the reverberation from this is huge because it really keeps me going. So, yes, here we are. Let's talk about integrating light codes. I was on Instagram the other day and I jumped on somebody's live who's got a very significant community on IG and they do astrology. And they were on with somebody else. And basically, it felt like they came on to talk shit about spiritual language, right? Even like New Earth language. And it was a hard no for me. It just felt unsupportive. And I was like, why would I want to stay here in this vibration? Because y'all, words evoke positive or negative emotion. And because we have such dependence on our linear language for communication, this is really one of the first ways that we create thoughts, which create emotions, which create feelings, which create belief systems and mindsets, and even narratives that we really run our lives by. So it comes down to, what is your stream of consciousness and how does it feel with whatever you're receiving, with the words that you're receiving? And to me, that just felt unnecessary to talk shit about some language that actually feels like a really high vibration for a lot of people. They're resonating with it. There's a tidal wave of awakening happening, and there's new language that goes along with it. So instead of like putting down what might be working for other people, how about just use what works for you and magnetize the people into that frequency? Y'all, this is where we're going. This is how we change anything and everything. Really take it into your heart, take it into your cells. We change anything by how we put our attention, our energy, and our belief into it. And when this ripples out into a mass scale, when we come together in where we direct our belief and energy and attention, whatever had been alive or whatever had been running on those beliefs actually loses its power. It doesn't stay in power if we no longer believe in it. And this goes for everything. Okay. So I'm going to get to this, but what's your stream of consciousness? Because the more you curate the energy that you're absorbing on a daily basis, the more that reflects and it becomes how you live and how you I don't want to say vibrate, but how you actually manifest in the world and magnetize the world to you. So this Libra full moon, it feels really important to highlight it with the integration of light codes, because we have been in some of the most massive solar storms and solar flares in history. There is plasmic light pouring onto the planet and into our atmosphere, which also is wanting to pour into our cells, into our fascia, into our microtubules. But if there's no room, the light actually can't move in. It can't integrate into our physical experience. And why wouldn't there be room in your cells for the light? Because there's density, because there's a tension and tightness. I mean, y'all, it is so dang exciting, this tidal wave of awakening and enlightenment happening because we are reconnecting so deeply with our true nature, which is the planetary energies, the cosmic weather and fluctuations. It's the moonlight, the moon cycles, the sunlight, the plasmic codes coming in that reawaken that ancient encoded wisdom that we came in with. It's in our cells, it's in our DNA, and we're reawakening how powerful we are. And we're realizing that all of nature is what empowers us. And we're also now deeply understanding how disconnected we've been because of the cultural constructs around us, because of what has suppressed and dimmed our light and created such deep places of disconnection and unwholeness in our lives, right? So I'm basically going to give you two things. It's like a formula for integrating light codes. And then we're going to talk a little bit deeper about it. But when you're feeling this shift, like after the Libra full moon, because we have just went through a deep retrograde period, we're in all planets direct. We're about to hit eclipse season. And March, again, was one of the biggest astrological months that we've had in several years, if not longer, with major planets changing signs that affect the collective. So Pluto moved into Aquarius, and wow, I am like, those truths are just coming through my cells when in relation to humanity. Like, what I've been sharing is absolutely Pluto in Aquarius. I responded to a challenging comment on one of my podcasts. I kind of hit back with Instagram with what they've been doing or not doing about scammers and what they're offering to the people that are being scammed right now for money. And even just calling out this negative frequency on the live that I jumped into on Instagram. This is Pluto in Aquarius because your cells are definitive. They absolutely know the truth. And now they are sharing it with you on a very profound level. And when you don't follow that, it actually might get more and more uncomfortable. And then we also had Saturn move into Pisces, which is a really big deal too, in the way that we bring a physicality and a reality to our soul's connection, to the integration of the light codes, and literally move our lives from that with a foundation there. Instead of the foundation being outside of us and what's been created for us, it's now inside of us and what we are creating in our soul's truth and our soul's alignment and acceleration, right? Every time we go through a major astrological event like this, we only raise our vibration. And every time we do this together, we raise it across the board, right? And that's what we're doing in that monthly membership that I was mentioning. It's like in the monthly membership, we come and we do the work with the moon cycles when the energy is the most powerful and potent. And y'all, it's not all rainbows and unicorns in there. We're doing the hard work. We're doing the excavation. There's no bypassing. And that's why when we come together in these sacred spaces and circles and really explore what wants to be revealed and healed, it happens on a massive level because you've got other energy that's lifting you up and encouraging you and supporting you. So if you want to check out my monthly membership, absolutely jump in. I've got a 2-week free trial. Check out the links in the show notes below. But if I'm not your vibe, find someone else because so many people are offering these monthly memberships. This is the new Earth tidal wave that we're going through. And the faster we do this by coming together and just showing up with that alignment, accountability, and doing the work, the faster the constructs that have kept us unwhole and unwell will crumble. They really will. Y'all, you know how I feel about this. You know what the non-physical life has been sharing through my channel about this. It's so important that we really pay attention to our stream of consciousness, where you put your belief, your time, and your energy, because that will be activated. Period. And that's where I want to go with this, I'm quoting, formula for integrating the light codes that are coming on the planet. The first and most important piece to this is clearing the density from your cells. These bodies are our tool. They're our conduit. They're our access point to the higher dimensional realms, to our higher self, to our guides, to soul, to spirit, to God, right? And the more you open this physical channel, which means the more you transform triggers and traumas and stress, the easier it is. And the more permanent that enlightenment and ascension becomes in your reality. And it can't be shaken, right? It can't be shaken by the judgments and the fears and the competition and the lack and whatever the mindsets are around you. But y'all, when you create a more refined stream of consciousness, honestly, it makes it easier. I was feeling into this too, as I knew I was going to come on here and share, because I was like, we used to be in this full-on self-sacrifice living. Like, you have to put up with everybody's shit and you just have to learn how to deal with it. And I'm like, no, we get to create our reality. We get to create the frequency around us. And that is absolutely beautiful. That is you being in your power. That's not you giving your power away. Do you see the difference there? Like, us having to just sit and take it from everybody and everything, that's us being disempowered because they're taking our power, right? As we're sitting there just dimming our light more and more based on whatever those messages are that are coming in that are not in alignment with our deepest light, with our source energy, with what we know to be true. But when we create a reality around us, an experience around us that elevates our deepest soul's light and what we know to be true, then we live in that and we share it, and it becomes so much more solid. It becomes our strong pillar of light that we emanate from. And that's our empowerment. So we've really got to get out of this self-sacrificial culture and realize that it's like I just got the vision of like, it's funny. And the song came in. We are but a dust in the wind, right? Like, we're just a blip of this enormous unfolding in the universe, in the planets, in the galaxy, the solar system, on this earth, right? It's incredible when you really pull yourself up and get that higher vantage point. So it's like we get to flow in and out, like holding ourselves hostage into anything in this world is the exact thing that has kept us from evolving and integrating what wants to come in, because it keeps us in density and in this box of limitation, which basically does not allow anything new to come in. So remember that you are here to change and evolve at any point in this existence and unfolding from any energy and any experience. And also, that goes for everyone else. It's not just you. Everyone here has the potential to do that. Does that mean that we all are going to? No. Does it mean everyone's on the soul's journey and the quest for enlightenment and acceleration, for higher and a higher open channel into their own source energy? No. And that's okay. And that's where we know we don't have to sacrifice ourselves in that exchange. Because if you feel that whatever you're absorbing around you is dimming your light, creating a fear frequency, bringing you down, that's your message. That's your body consciousness message to change it. Change the environment and absorb something new, because we are energy. Everything is energy. That's how it goes, right? It's just different form. And when you really drop into that truth, you start to change things, because you are absorbing something all day long, unconsciously or consciously, and that becomes you. It becomes how you relate to the world. It becomes your belief systems, your mindsets, your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences, and what you magnetize. So the first one, like I said, is clear density, but we have to remember it's not just the deep, big trauma work that we're clearing and transforming. We're actually needing to work on a daily basis with what we've normalized as stress and triggers, because that to me is actually the gateway to trauma, and trauma becomes the gateway to addiction or drugs or, unwellness, mental health, imbalance, stagnation in our bodies, dis-ease, right? So look at your stream of consciousness and look at, is it increasing or decreasing a fear frequency in your life? And this is a learned fear frequency, right? We've always got to distinguish between an innate fear response that we actually have to help us be well. But those innate fear responses are meant to be activated in a very short amount of time, like very short. 2 to 5% of our lives, if we want to be real, when we're talking about the sympathetic versus the parasympathetic nervous system. And where in your life are you activating the learned fear frequency from what is not even your reality of the present moment? It's what has been experienced in the past. It's what you're applying to the future. It's what you're absorbing in your communities, in your world around you. Okay? Because believe me, as you continue to decrease your fear frequency and open your channel and your cells to that cosmic and plasmic light that comes in, you actually open to a world of experiences that you've never had in this physical iteration and body. Miracles are not, they're not special, I want to say. We're actually here to live miracles and be miracles. We just have gotten so disconnected over it that we normalized only certain people having miraculous events. And we've always kept it outside of us, right? It's inside of us. And y'all, and I'm just so excited for you to keep experiencing more and more of them as you move through this process of integrating the light codes. So then I said clear density and then move your body. That's the second. These bodies run really well when they are dynamic, when they are moving. Now, if you physically cannot move your body, use your creation energy and your imagination. That's actually your innate healing guidance. That's how you heal yourself, by visualizing and holding that belief and that timeline and actually creating the healing within from the thought change, from the mindset change, and from the creation of imagination. You are the most powerful tool in this whole equation. No system outside of you is more powerful than yourself. We've always got to come back to that. We have to dismantle the expert narrative. Now, if you can move your body, if you're in that place and you don't, that will keep us in stagnation, and that continues to tighten these vessels up. And we've become so repetitive and linear that creates patterns within the body. The body loves to be an open vessel, right? A dynamic experience. It loves to be spiral and circular. And so the more that you do move your body, the more that you will actually open the physical vessel up for what wants to come in. And this is where, when we have these major energetic events, when we have lots of solar flares coming onto the planet or into the atmosphere, and you hear people talk about ascension symptoms, that's what they are. And if we really want to get down to it, when we've been experiencing these in the past and not having the language or the knowledge of what may be happening or the connection with the cosmic weather and the energies around us that are happening, the light frequency that shifts, we could have dropped into a fear space. There's something wrong with us. And then we go to the extreme there. And then actually in that thought system and that belief system, we create more of dis-ease within ourselves. But when we can feel very soft and relaxed and knowing like, oh, okay, I'm experiencing symptoms because this little human body has a lot of light that's trying to come in. And yet I'm still feeling I'm living in this density or this stress, or I'm even more tense because I'm feeling this physical symptoms and more fearful. Then it becomes this pattern that it's like the stagnation pattern, and the light can't come in, and we might feel even worse. Y'all, before this Libra full moon, I've had one of the most intense physical weeks of my life. And now I know why. I know how much energy and light was trying to come into my body to be integrated. And I literally could barely bring myself to work. And so now that the ascension is happening, here I am at work, because this is where we're meant to produce. I'm kind of going in a lot of directions here, because I do believe that we have to keep chipping away, is what it feels like. We have to keep chipping away at this overproduction culture, by feeling like overproducing is where we get ahead, or we, gain traction in our lives. It's actually where it takes the most effort. Now, when we allow ourselves to rest without the fear of the scarcity, we will produce so much more in this period, because our bodies are ready for the full integration. And then the push forward, the production mode, when all of the energies are moving like they are right now, because y'all, they feel so good. They feel so revved up and ready to go. Like I've just gotten so much done this morning because I'm in it. And I'm like, oh, wow, 2 days ago, I thought I was going to feel miserable forever. And now I feel amazing. I feel on top of the world. This is the natural high that we were meant to experience. Instead of looking for some artificial high outside of ourselves that actually takes us further away from moving through this experience and actually feeling this experience to get to the natural high. You see how like all of these cycles and patterns, like I'm proud of you because I know you're breaking them. And I know there are a lot of them and they keep coming in. There is a large portion of the world that is still plugged in. They're plugged into the systems and what the systems want them to feel. So I feel like I'm going to probably wrap this up at this point, but I just was going to share a few things that might help you as you move forward in this way, like almost kind of concrete things, but not necessarily concrete in the physicality. Let your mind rest. Trust your cells. We really have to stop believing that everyone or everything else knows more than us, and stop looking for more expertise outside of us, and actually know when to kind of call it or know when to engage in learning, as opposed to when we really access the deepest place of trust and empowerment within ourselves and belief that we have everything that we need. We know a lot. And the more that we do the integrative work, the transformative work, the more our cells are going to share with us the knowledge. Like this came through in a reading that I just had recently, but it's like, we are our best library. The living library of knowledge, right? The more that we access those Akashic records of everything that was, everything that is, and everything that will be, it's like the realm of unconditioned, the more you function from that place, and the more you trust in this life, and what you need to know is magnetized to you instead of having to effort to go outside of yourself so much to find it. Create intentional absorption and community in your world. Check in with yourself. Find out, where is your power being siphoned, and make some changes. Changes are never permanent. Keep that in your field. Know that when you make any shifts in your world, they can always come back around in a higher frequency, in a more balanced state. So I'm about to release a new meditation on Insight Timer. So you can check me out there under my name, Lori Rising. And it's a cord cutting meditation that we did in the membership community. And I'm kind of shoring it up, and I'm going to release it there. So go check that out. If you want a super easy, quick way to not just cut the cords, but actually burn them down So those energies are gone. They can't reconnect in that same space, so that if the people, experiences, or energies come back, they come back in a new frequency, and you decide if they're going to be let in. You decide if you're going to make that connection. But that's where we've got to sever and burn the connections down that have been running on the imbalance for too long. Dismantle the time construct. Get out of immediate gratification and just let life unfold. When you trust everything that's coming into your experience has a higher purpose and it has a lesson and knowledge for you, you're going to drop so much deeper into your innate medicine, so much deeper into your voice and your truth. And you're going to start sharing from your biggest source of light, because the light is going to be in your cells because you've been integrating it right here. See how we're going back through all of it? And then the last thing I put is just let yourself explore your senses and explore the resistance that may be coming up. Just be super intentional in your day. Check in with yourself and then pull the practices in. Whether it's you can listen to a podcast or mentors that really cheerlead for you. They really lift you up. You can do the guided meditations. You can move your body. Like, y'all, I have now incorporated a morning practice that is not for negotiation. I go outside immediately and I do an elemental connection. I'm out there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, probably 4 minutes. And I'm opening my eyes to the sun before I look at my phone. I'm doing breath work. I'm exchanging negative ions with the earth. And I am activating myself for the day in a really beautiful place. So look at that. How can you bring in new practices into your daily life that create a reset for you, or create the space for you to get into the present moment and be hella aware of what's coming up for you to explore, to reveal, and to transform without the construct of time? Know that when you tap into an energy and you let it permeate in your field, when you hold it instead of deny it, when you welcome it or invite it to reveal itself, to unfold itself, then it will happen as is divine for you. Okay. I hope this has been super supportive and helpful. For all of you who have been asking, my Soul Biz Streamlined online course is coming so soon. I kind of got pushed back a week because of how unwell I physically felt last week before the Libra Full Moon. And I had to keep surrendering. Every day I kept trying to push, and then I would have to surrender and just like go silent and let my body rest. So I'm pushed back a little bit, but if you're on the wait list, you will be getting that email probably early next week, and you get first dibs. You get the early bird price, and you get in no matter what, right? So if you're not on the wait list, get on there in the links below in the show notes, because this course has been coming for a while, and I feel like it is so dynamic. What I'm bringing in is absolutely multidimensional, and it's going to help propel you into this place of inspired and aligned action in your medicine and your business and your share and whatever you're creating in your world. Okay. So definitely do that. And then as a reminder, for the upcoming Awaken Your Fire 2024 retreat experience, I have early bird pricing until May 1st. Those spaces are going fast. I know it's 10 months away, but because it's 10 months away, I was able to offer an 8-month payment plan. Boom. I've not seen anyone do that in a retreat experience before. So, hey-o. Okay, y'all. So if you have any other questions about my courses, my programs, my offerings, just hit up my hub at therawandwildhearts.com. Tag me on Instagram with a screenshot of this episode. Say hi. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you. And I'm just so excited to be experiencing the elevation of this planet and humanity that we are absolutely in right now. So until next time, y'all, don't forget to keep looking up.